Hello viewers, welcome back to the show Reason with Angel. I'm with a wonderful woman of God with me. Oh my God, I'm so excited. My peace. She's not just a guest on this show. She worked with me as female student chaplain, and we work together. We have a long history together, a lot of memories. So I'm so excited to have her on the show. I know you're going to enjoy this, especially this episode. So welcome to the show, Mapis. Mapis, just introduce yourself to us, please.
Ayankoya, please, like said, former student chaplain. I'm just a product of grace. I don't know how best to describe myself. But literally, I can say my whole life is a product of grace. That's why I'm
Former student chaplain, which years that we're talking about?
2021, 2022 session.
Because we don't know when the viewers watching this video. So
2021, 2020 session. Yes,
yeah. So
in your head.
Wow. So excited. No other person I can work with than Ayankoya. She's an awesome person. So happy to have you back.
Thank you.
So Mapis, share with us a testimony. She's an embodiment of testimonies, no doubt, but share with us a testimony, just one for our viewers for today. Obviously, I'm sure we'll be taking more of the testimonies later. But for today, just share with us a testimony, something God has done for you, that you can say of a shorty, this has been a hand of God in my life. One of the things you do to transfer that testimony, and looking forward that it's going to bless someone out there who is in need of this very kind of testimony. So, Ma, what do you have as a testimony for us?
Okay, so my testimony today will not be, I won't turn it to a material thing, trust me. Because the product of this testimony made me look beyond material things that I have, like a hand and everything. This testimony, I would say honestly, it is a very long testimony, but it literally begun before I realized that it had already begun when I entered Canaan land and everything. But I'll just move strictly to when I was in Covenant. Precisely, let me say from 300 level. I tell you, I wasn't that diligent in prayer. I wasn't that diligent in worship. I would always wait for an ambience. Like if I did not feel, if they did not sing certain spiritual songs, if they did not stem me up somehow, then I'll now feel something moving in me. I'm like, oh yes, the Lord is here. Honestly, that was like me, before like 200 level, 100 level. It was hard. I felt like I looked like someone that was so focused. Just you need to get rid of that thought. I looked like someone that had it as in spiritual life in check. But I was like, I know what I'm looking for, and I haven't found it. I hated that I had to always wait for such spectacular moments in quotes before I could realize that God was with me. But then I tell you, 300 level, God was concocting something without my approval. He was concocting something and I didn't even realize it. So 300 level, I was supposed to go for IT in Omega semester. That was our second semester. And I didn't get a placement in time. Trust me. Please don't avoid this too. I was so overconfident that first class, CU logo on top, my placement letter, my class grade, what do you call it, is secured and everything. I thought that it would come fast. I tell you, week 1, week 2, at the point I started counting the weeks, and literally I was broken. I was literally broken, and I don't know how God did it. In that time, most times I would turn to tears, thinking it would be like a form of relief, but it's not so. And in those times, I'll find myself going back to prayer. And it's not like I still even knew the best way to pray, but like it was like a step towards where He needed me to be. So, 200 level IT, I was still waiting for this placement and everything. I remember one very strange day in church, and I remembered something Pastor Kai did, the former chaplain, one of the chaplains in Covenant University, said that you should learn to put things down, as in holding God to what He has said to you. I wasn't all that spiritual already, so I didn't know I was supposed to hold God to something that I'm still struggling with, even in a common relationship. And I wrote down that date that I was going to come back and testify, and this testimony will be something that I can only credit to God. That means it will not be my class, it will not be anything I had at that point that will qualify me for this position. And I tell you, as I wrote it clearly. I typed on my phone that day, but as I typed on my phone, the following week or so, I got a slot to a place, but it wasn't even in Lagos, it was in Ibadan. I said, God, how? Like, how? My parents are not all for the idea of,
Traveling.
please go outside. As in, I'm the last born, baby of the house. How they release me to, the wildlife park, like Pascal they will say. So, strangely, me, I'm still growing, no. My daddy now told me, you just go and ask God where he wants you to go. In all my searching for companies to go to, there was only one that kept bringing my heart. But I felt that I just wanted to go there. But then again, it was only that slot I got. That was the only placement I got approval for, an appointment letter for. And I don't know, I got there. Surprisingly, my dad said, hear from God, yes. And I told him this is what God has told me, I should be going on my way. And my dad said, okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. How? I still couldn't realize it. And then fast forward to us preparing, to go and pick up the letter and everything in Ibadan. I cried from the place that they gave me the appointment letter down to my dad's car. I even called my dad and said that I don't think I can do it. Daddy, I don't want.
It look hard.
I cried. My eyes were red. I was so scared as to what will happen in this space of time. Because I'm not used to being on my own and everything. But God never leaves you without a helper. So I don't know how he did it. Luckily, Choma, my friend, roommate, now sister, and we got to eventually arrange things and we got to stay together like throughout the IT period I was supposed to be in. But then suddenly I was starting to receive my calm. I was still scared at the beginning because I don't talk a lot. So how am I going to relate with people in a work environment? So it was still hard, but thank God for my friend that was always with me. She was always pushing me to talk to people and everything. All in this, I did not know what God was doing. So we went for our first, because we could not go for our first winners live service. I could not go for our first winners live service, so we streamed. By the next service, I went, and then I attended BF's class. I told them that I already attended, but like they were like, just stay, just stay. I was like, God, okay, they said I should just stay. As I was praying in that time, God just told me then that I was going to give you the gift of sounds. And then I was wondering, what's gift of sound? I can't sing. I used to lose my voice too frequent. What are you talking about? But I didn't know that gift that he was giving me was all I needed, Jonathan, to fine tune the relationship that I was so worried about. So oftentimes I would just stand up 4 a.m. in the morning, pardon, like with nobody telling me anything. I would stand up 4 a.m. and I'm off to pray. And when I feel like I'm not connecting, suddenly I'm led to just make sounds. Like literally I was just making sounds when I'm praying. And it's not I'm not looking for ambience again. The sound is in me. So it just felt that I was always with him. Like it just became so wholesome. He didn't feel strange. He didn't feel far. He felt closer than I could ever have been. And time and time again, each and every of those prayer times, I would receive counsel, instructions, confessions that was so strengthening. And I'm like, God, like, is it only me that waka come? Like, he was so intentional during that period. I could not even, phantom it and everything. How much more? He was just placing the right, because I was scared that I wouldn't be able to, boldly say I'm a believer. I don't stand for these things. Oh, I'm fasting, or that kind of thing. He placed the right set of people beside me. As in people that will stem me to worship, go for prayers, be praying together. Conversations of like it was so beautiful. It was just God. These days I've fallen in love with this scripture. Therefore, let us lay aside every weight. I tell you, God was helping me lay aside every weight. The scripture says, John 15, that in order for you to bear much fruit, He will first prune you. My God, He pruned me. He pruned me from a lot of things. And to much as I know that I was even going to serve as Saint Chaplain when I was going to come back. So it was like so God orchestrated. So you may ask me, like, what's this testimony all about? What's this thing? I tell you, becoming so close to God made me even magnify God more in my life than what I see. So like even when everything around me doesn't make sense, I will go to where sanity lies. They did not create me to be stressed. They said, well, be anxious for nothing. Why am I to stress? My name is Peace, for crying out loud. Do you understand? So
yeah.
So that understanding just draws you closer. I'm telling you, the magnitude of things that should seem overwhelming, that should make you overthink, they become as in, oh God, He's the creator and He's your father. That this experience was just wholesome for me, and trust me, it tailored me even beyond my position as chaplain female and everything. And now period or not, I am a living walking testimony. Whether something is happening in my life or not, I tell you, my life is a testimony on its own. That I bear my name in my life is a testimony. I say it every time. My name is peace, and I will bear it wherever I find myself. And that's how it has always been. So honestly, if I'm permitted to give like a counsel, like stick to it. I'm not looking at the camera, sorry, but stick to it. Stick. It doesn't make sense. It seems hard. It seems confusing. You don't understand. It doesn't make sense. That's how people are connecting so easily and calling God Daddy. My God, trust me. Just be with Him. Remove your eyes. God is not in a rush with you. He has all the time with you. Just take your eyes off people that are seeing professing this. They started from being babies. As in, they had to trust God to heal them of catarrh, of cough, before they could raise the dead. So don't think that your own won't come. It will come. It will come. And then you will feel so at ease. And then you wonder, this is the me that was struggling before. And then soon you realize every day I'm a testimony. Every day of my life I'm a testimony. I'm breathing, I'm a testimony. I can testify of the glory of God. I'm a testimony. Like that's how it will just flow for me. So that's where I was talking. My one testimony of
So inspiring, so touching. Just like she said, stay on it. Stay on it. Consistent. One thing I discovered about, a lot of people in my few times, being a student with that, is that most people, it's difficult for them to touch fire. It's not difficult for the presence of God to move and you notice it. But very few people dive into it when it happens. It's not difficult for, a program takes place, supply of the Spirit, and fire comes down and everybody is moved. But how many people sustain that fire? They think it is that moment. Not knowing that every open show is a product of secret investment. So, as you are indoor, Father, I want to know you. Before you start seeing some things happening outside, before you see somebody say that, let the power move, and the power moves.
That's so mysterious. There
are some secret investments that the person has, invested in the secret place. So stay on it. It's looking as if it's not working or it can't work. No, that's not true. In due season, it will come. Stay on it. Remain consistently. It's better you are consistently moving at an increase, even if it is small, but be consistent on it. So awesome. So I don't know. You're ready to say maybe someone is struggling with, this consistency. Otherwise, we have to give somebody like that. Somebody struggling with maybe consistency and doesn't know what to do about it. What can you say to somebody?
To that person, there are two advices I can give you. But I mostly tell people that I was privileged to counsel that the truth is, what you don't do will never be done. The truth is, as fiery as you want to get, and as much as you're looking up to Papa, it didn't happen by magic. Don't be in a haste, I tell you. Like he said, consistency in little will go a long way. But I can tell you two things that will really help. Is find someone that you're accountable to now. I'm not talking about a friend that will indulge you. I say, I was not able to pray today because I was choked.
We died.
Oh really? Were you able to eat? Someone will ask me. Were you able to sleep? Oh, amazing. You wasted about 30 minutes before you entered your class. You could have used the road time to just pray a little. Like, find someone that will not just take your excuses.
Yeah.
Like, comfortable. Oh, I understand. I don't want you to understand. Try not to understand. I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to grow. Growth is sometimes not comfortable. So you can't be complacent about everything you do. Oh, it's fine. You're busy. Keep quiet. How are you busy?
Just
I tell you. Find someone that will really
push you to the edge.
Preferably.
Yeah.
It may not be a friend. If you have a friend that maybe strong on that, fine. But if you can find a mentor that is not a friend, someone that I need your reports in. Did you pray today? Just and when it's no longer a joke, like I'm giving it. So if you give excuse day 1, day 2, and your mentor tells you, I think you're not serious, and he leaves you, that would shock you a bit. Do you understand? And the second thing is, as much as you are accountable to that person, there's only so much that the person can help you do. Because I can tell Angel here, yes, so I prayed. Okay. Who knows whether I just prayed for the food I ate? That's the prayer. That's the only prayer I did. But I said I prayed all this prayer, right?
Yeah.
Just and he won't condemn me for it. But the truth is, you are also answerable to yourself. Papa will say, you're what? Absolutely responsible for the outcome of your life. You are absolutely, let me tell you, 100% is you. Is you. So as much as you are accountable to that person, be accountable to yourself. Like, no, what is it that you are doing? Look towards the end. You know, instead of looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy, as in the joy that I set before me is one where I see myself walking as in the fruits of the Spirit, in the gift of the Spirit on a daily basis, hourly basis. That means you don't need to stir me up to come and, oh, I cannot pray fire. No, it's not like that.
Fire is domicile
if you tell me to kabash now, I will and you think say I've been praying for 6 hours before. Literally, that's how it should burst out of you. But then again, it is your responsibility. No one can take it from you. You can be accountable, but you need to be responsible. There is no dilly-dallying. Set a time. Force yourself. Set disturbing alarms. Do like all you need to do to push yourself, even if it's out of compulsion. I'm telling you, from compulsion, you will move to habits.
Yes.
And before you know it becomes a delight. Because something starts as a duty before it becomes a delight. So, these are two things.
I like using this example. You know, I asked you something when I was a little younger. They used to force me to take my bath. You know, I can remember running around the house with my elder sister. I said, "Come on, take your bath." I said, "Lie." But who forces me to take my bath now? I know I have to because I've seen the importance of it. And sometimes you leave class and with the heat of the sun, you are only thinking about the bath you are going to collect. You are going to take. not.
No one is to tell you.
Do you understand? It's the same way where you start walking in the spirit in such a way that your spirit, you don't begin to be driven. You say Jesus was driven to the wilderness. No, there's something in you that just drives you that my spirit needs washing now. Exactly. You know, after all the healing, I need to pray. You just discover that you are seeing the need to do it. Let us keep on.
You are seeing the need. I see myself sometimes when I'm overthinking, and it's not fast. You have not prayed. It's clear. That's the only reason. I've not prayed.
So, I know, viewers, thank you so much for viewing, and thank you so much for
I know. It's an honor to be on Reason with Angel.
It's a pleasure to have you with us, and I'm sure I'm sure this has been a very long message for everyone. We'll be having Baptiste on the show, I'm sure, very more often. So I pray, I know you have received something. I know you have learned something from this message, from this video. Consistency is the rule of the game. Be accountable, be responsible. Take up the responsibility. See, this is my spiritual life. It must grow and grow it. I look forward to seeing you even in your next level and hearing your testimonies and hearing what God is doing through you and with you, even as you follow these steps to actualizing your destiny in Christ. Till we meet again next time, we will remain on Reason with Angel.